finding stuff out that you want to know. Just ask me a question that I don't know. That's why Finding Stuff Out is the name of the show. So just give me a shout and we'll figure it out with the help of some friends, and the fun never ends on Finding Stuff Out, Finding Stuff Out, Finding Stuff Out. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Finding Stuff Out. Today, you get 2 shows in one. I'm practicing my magic act for my school's talent show. I'm trying to make my guinea pig squeakers vanish into thin air. So far, it's not working, but magic is all about changing stuff into other stuff, right? So maybe your questions about solids, liquids, and gases will help. Here's the first one from Victoria.
Why isn't magic real?
Magic is real! I just saw a magic man burn water! It started to smoke, and he said, if I don't buy a ticket to his next show, he's gonna burn down all our water! Magic is real! Magic is real! Magic is real! People used to think that anything they couldn't explain must be magic. Get me out of here! Like if you showed someone Finding Stuff Out who had never seen TV before, you could probably convince them that you shrunk me inside your magic box. Hey, yeah! Today, we know that magicians' tricks only look like magic. They all have logical, scientific explanations. Or do they? Is magic real? Maybe it is, and I just don't know how it works. But I promise to find out by the end of the show. Here's my second question. It's from Kevin.
Why does a balloon float?
Want to see me make this balloon disappear into thin air? But seriously, a balloon doesn't float. What makes it float is the helium. The balloon just goes along for the ride. I found out that the reason helium floats is because it's less dense than other gases in the air, like oxygen. But wait, how can a gas be dense? Doesn't that mean thick and heavy? But if the gases in the air are dense, why can't we see them? Why don't they crush us? My brain is steaming. It's going from a solid to a gas. That can only mean one thing. You're gonna make my head explode. Whew. I found out that dense just means something's tightly packed together, like when you take snow and smush it into a hard snowball. You've made the snow denser. But some things are naturally denser than others. This maple syrup is full of sugary goodness. Water is less dense, so it floats on top. That's sort of what happens with helium. Helium's lighter than most other gases, so it floats on top of them. Have you ever wondered if you could float through the air using helium balloons? Well, you could if you had enough. Let's see if I can make squeakers float. That's all the balloons I have, and they aren't enough. How many balloons would it take to get squeakers off the ground? Let's see. Squeakers weighs about 1,000 grams, and each balloon lifts about 14 grams. Wow, it would take 71 helium balloons just to lift squeakers. And a lot more for his cage. What? I made a guinea pig fly. To lift an average kid, you need about 2,500 balloons. Your parents probably aren't gonna buy you that many at an amusement park. But Kevin, people do float through the air using giant balloons. Only these ones don't use helium. I went to a balloon festival to find out how they float. I'm here with balloon expert Wild Bill. So, are these balloons the same as the helium ones that I get on my birthday?
No, not at all, Harrison. These here are all cloth-filled balloons. Just a big bag. All we do is we take the balloon and we fill it up with air, and then what we do is we superheat the air inside, and then the balloon gets very, very light.
Oh, I found out that when you heat the air, it makes it less dense, which is why they're able to fly.
Exactly. You've got it. Somebody's been studying. That's good. 1, 2, 3, you. Dan, you on the handle? Come on down. you're on this side.
Okay.
I'm on this side, and we're gonna bring this all the way back to where the basket is, all right? Keep going till you run out of balloon.
After unfolding the balloon,
Here we go.
we fill it up with air using this giant fan. Then we turn on the heat with a gas burner. Bill has to make sure the flame doesn't get too close to the fabric, which can burn if it gets overheated.
We're gonna go in. We're getting in soon.
Okay, Harrison, come on board, right in here, man.
This is crazy. And we're up. Oh. This is insane. This is so cool. So how exactly does the heat keep us up?
I constantly put heat in because the balloon is always cooling.
Right.
So if I want to maintain this altitude, I got to put heat in. I'm going to do that right now. So the balloon is now flying in level flight, and if we don't do anything, the balloon will start to cool and will start to descend. But if we let the balloon cool too much, then the balloon will come crashing to the ground too fast.
That's not good.
So we're going to control the amount of heat we put in so we can find a nice soft place up forward here to land.
Hey, squeakers, how did you get up here? Look at them go. I never would have thought those balloons would have gotten you this high.
Squeakers, man, this is the only way to get around.
You funny guy. Bye.
How do you make water?
I am the water monster. I make water with my water monster magic. Just kidding. I found out that water is made up of two gases in the air, oxygen and hydrogen. Here's how they get together. Gas has a dance party, swinging through the air. Gas has a dance party, gases everywhere. Oxygen and hydrogen shake their derrieres, but if two H's bond with O, they turn to water. Down they go. When two H's bond to O, they turn to water. Look down below. So water's made by connecting an oxygen atom with two hydrogens. But if you're wondering how I, Harrison the Magnificent, make water, here's a cool trick. I told my sister I was going to drink mud. She got really grossed out, but she didn't know there was a way to get clean water out of mud. Want to see how the trick works?
The experiment.
This is called a distiller. I let my sister pour the mud into here and told her at the end of the week I drink whatever liquid came out. But will all the water evaporate before the week is up? Or will I have to drink mud?
When the sun heats up the distiller, the water in the mud starts to evaporate. You can see the water vapor fogging up the sides. It's condensing. Then, when it cools off, the vapor turns back into water and drips down into the container.
Whew, all the water in the mud evaporated, but the dirt didn't. It all got left behind. My sister will be so disappointed. That mud sure had a lot of water inside of it. You know what else has water? Us.
3/4 of a kid's body is water. That's why we need to drink a lot of it.
When you put water in the freezer in a jar, why does it break?
It happened to me once. I accidentally put a jar of pickles in the freezer. It broke and made a big mess. But to answer Keon's question without making a mess, it's time for...
Uh-oh, do try this at home.
Want to know a cool magic trick? Well, it's not really magic, it's science. But you don't have to tell anyone that. You take a plain, ordinary glass of drinking water and fill it all the way to the top. Then, tell your friends and family. Prepare to be amazed. I'm going to make this water get bigger. Presto, changeo, water, grow. Then, put it in the freezer. When the water is frozen, it will have grown taller than the top of the glass, all by itself. See? How did it do that? When a drop of water freezes, it spreads out to form an ice crystal. That's why a jar full of water breaks when you put it in the freezer. If the ice crystals can't go out the top, they break right through the glass. Remember that the next time you're putting away a jar of pickles.
When you put boiling hot water in a cup and then put it in the freezer and freeze it, can you make it solid, solid, solid?
To find out, please welcome my special guest, materials engineer, LV Dalgard.
Hey, Harrison.
Hey, I hope you have pickles in there. I like pickles.
Not exactly. If I had pickles in here, they'd be frozen pickles.
Oh. Maria wants to know if you can freeze boiling water and put it into really solid ice.
Sure, of course. You can change the phase of water no matter what temperature it starts at. In fact, if you're someplace really, really cold and you take a cup of coffee and throw it into the air, some of those droplets are going to freeze before they hit the ground.
Really?
And yeah, and the same thing happens with spit.
Cool.
Let's do a little experiment.
We're not going to be freezing spit around here, are we?
Don't worry. I want you to take these glasses and put them on.
Okay.
Because we're going to be dealing with liquid nitrogen, and liquid nitrogen is kind of like boiling oil. It'll burn your hand if you get it on your hand. So you're going to put the gloves on too.
It's so cold it burns.
Nitrogen, of course, is not dangerous in and of itself.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about getting it in your food, which is good because this is cream and sugar, and we're going to make ice cream.
Wow.
And I'm going to start by pouring a little bit of the liquid nitrogen into the cream and sugar.
Whoa.
I can't really see. There's so much fog.
Seems to be getting like frozen.
Getting there, eh?
Oh, it's getting icy now. Can feel ice chunks in there.
Almost ready.
Whew.
All right, well, if it's too hard to stir, maybe it's ready to scoop some
Yeah, it's
out
hard
and
to-
taste it.
There we go. Bon appetit. Well, thank you for this scientific treat.
You're very welcome.
And here's another question. It's from Brianna.
Why doesn't ketchup come out of the bottle sometimes and it makes a big mess?
Well, the reason for that is that ketchup is what we call a non-Newtonian fluid. And in this case, that means that it gets thicker if you don't move it.
Right.
It gets thinner if you do move it.
So is there any scientific way to unstick it?
Sure.
Hey, that's not exactly scientific.
Actually, it is. See, the blockage is in the neck where it's thick. Remember I told you it was a non-Newtonian fluid?
Yeah.
And if you apply pressure to it, it thins out. Well, guess what? Thins out in the neck, comes right out of the bottle.
Non-Newtonian fluids. Those sound cool. Is there any magic tricks I can do with them?
Actually,
Really? That would be perfect for...
My Great Challenge!
Today, my challengers are Kobe, Haley, and Ashley, Zachary, Mateo, and Colton. So are you guys ready to do something amazing?
Yeah. Yep.
So if I told you you had to do some jumping jacks or jog for a couple of minutes, that sounds good, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But what if I told you you had to do it on a liquid without sinking? So this is what you guys will be jumping on. It is made up of cornstarch and water. And let me show you something real quick. So if I am to punch it really fast, see, my hand does not sink, it's not wet. But if I slowly put it in, oh, gross. When I say go, the first person on each team has to jump into the pool. And you have a minute of exercises to do, and you have to stay on top of the liquid. When the minute is up, you'll be switching with your teammates. But if you sink before the minute is up, you will be eliminated. The next person in line has to jump into the pool right away and take their place. The last team with a person still standing wins. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah. Yep.
Go.
Oh. I can't. They're moved out. Oh no.
Okay, you guys are eliminated. Next person in.
This stuff is like quicksand. How can they jump on it? The first two challengers are out of the game. Here are the next two.
Run and spot really fast.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, he has it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You're eliminated. Please switch with your teammate.
Yeah. Kobe, help out.
Okay, hurry, get in. Run fast, run faster. There we go.
Go, Kobe, go forward.
Okay, now let's try some jumping jacks. How about just some straight jumping? Just do jumping, go. And switch, green team. Start doing some jumping jacks. Now let's try 1 foot. Oh, yellow team is eliminated. Green team won. Yeah. So did you guys think you could jump on a liquid? No? Well, I'm gonna let Elvie explain why you could.
Okay, well, the way it works is we call this cornstarch and water together a non-Newtonian fluid. It gets thicker or thinner if you change the stress, if you hit it.
So with ketchup, it gets thinner when we hit it. But with this, it gets thicker.
Think of it like you're trying to run into a crowd of people, right? If you run really fast, you're just gonna bang into them all. But if you go slowly and give them time to get out of your way, you'll be able to go through them. So it's the same thing with this. If you go really fast, you're just gonna bounce off it.
Well, thanks for playing my great challenge, and thank you, Elvie, for helping us find stuff out.
You're welcome.
Can a solid turn into a gas?
I checked the answer and... Whoa. Everyone, please welcome magician Ryan Lalonde to my show.
Hi, Harrison. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Happy to be here. Sorry, my hands are dry. Do you have any moisturizer with you?
I actually don't, sorry.
Okay, I guess I'll just use the moisture in the air.
How?
Well, here, I'll show you. My hand is empty. I'm gonna make a fist.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna grab the water, see?
What?
The water, and put it all in my hand, and you're gonna see.
How are you doing this? You must have something up your sleeve, right?
Not quite. A magician never tells his secret. Basically, what I did is I turned a gas into a liquid. Let me try something. I have a silk, which would be a solid.
Right.
I will put the solid into the glass. Now I have a white silk, which I can turn into white milk.
Is that one of those tricks where you make the audience look away and while they're not looking, you do something really fast?
Harrison, you're a tough audience.
There must be a scientific explanation. Dahlia was wondering, can you turn a solid into a gas?
I think you can. Let me try something.
Whoa, how'd you do that?
Well, it's very simple. I use what magicians call flash paper.
Right.
It has particles in the paper that are flammable and help the paper disintegrate.
Right. When paper burns, gases are formed.
Don't you burn yourself with that?
No, magicians have very safe ways of doing tricks. That's why kids should never copy the tricks they see on TV or in movies. I can show you something else about turning a solid into a gas.
Right.
Those are frozen blocks of carbon dioxide, also called dry ice.
Whoa, it's bubbling and there's smoke coming out of it everywhere.
So, Dahlia, the water warmed the solid carbon dioxide, and that made it turn into a gas.
Oh, and I just thought of another example.
A normal ice cube is solid, but when it melts, it turns into water. If that water gets hot enough, it turns into vapor. So water can be a solid, a liquid, or a gas, depending on the temperature.
What I have here is 2 glasses. A full glass of room temperature water and an empty glass. So we're gonna put this white piece of paper over the glass to make sure we know that this is the original empty glass. Now I'm gonna pour about half the water, maybe just a little more, into the glass. Now the purpose of this trick is to see if I can actually freeze the water in the glass. And you're gonna see that it is actually frozen.
Well, there must be a scientific explanation to that, too. Elvie already showed me how you can freeze things really fast.
I guess you just don't believe in magic.
Oh, that reminds me. I still have to answer Victoria's original question.
Why isn't magic real?
The big answer is... magic is real. Sort of. I can't wave a magic wand and make squeakers disappear. The tricks magicians do aren't real.
Hey, whoa, Harrison.
They're illusions, even if I can't explain how they're done. But the real world is pretty magical if you think about it. Think of all the stuff we saw that is real.
Gas is turning into liquids, liquids turning into solids, solids turning into gas. Gas has even lifted me into the air.
So even if I couldn't make squeakers disappear... Squeakers? Where did he go? Squeakers? Squeakers?
Whoa, Harrison, did you check your hat?
Where? How'd you do that? I didn't see you do that.
Well, you're not supposed to. It's magic.
Hey, it's empty. What have you done with Squeakers now?
My name is Squeakers,
Hey!
and this is my show.
Squeakers? How did you get there? I can't believe this. See you next time for more Finding Stuff Out. Ryan, there has to be a scientific explanation to this.
Just ask me a question that I don't know. That's why Finding Stuff Out is the name of the show. My name is Squeakers, and this is my show. I'm finding stuff out that you want to know.
Gas has a dance party, swinging through the air. Gas has a dance party. Gas is everywhere. Oxygen and hydrogen shake their derrieres, but if two H's bond with O, they turn to water. Down they go. When two H's bond to O, they turn to water. Look out below.